2 weeks ago, 4 major media outlets reported that Tom Homan, the president's top deportation official working in the White House, took $50,000 in cash in a bag from undercover FBI agents in September 2024, just over a year ago. According to these reports, Homan indicated he would facilitate securing contracts in exchange for money once he was in office in a future Trump administration. Reportedly, this exchange was caught on tape. Rather than pursue this investigation without fear or favor, the department and the FBI under your leadership or that of your predecessor before you confirmed quietly shut it down. So does that
Deputy Attorney General Blanche and Director Patel said that there was no evidence that Tom Homan committed a crime. Yet now you're putting his picture up to slander him.
No, I'm putting his picture up, show sitting here.
All I know is that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and FBI Director Patel said there was no case.
Was she,
Senator Schiff, if you worked for me, you would have been fired because you were censured by Congress for lying with your
we can stipulate to, you can stipulate to all your personal attacks on the Democratic members of the committee.
Personal attacks? You've been attacking my FBI director. You've been attacking my office. You've been attacking.
But what we're interested in,
what
we're interested in is
the tension inside the hearing room reached a boiling point as Attorney General Pam Bondi and Senator Adam Schiff collided in a fiery exchange that stunned everyone watching. On one side stood Senator Adam Schiff, armed with a long list of grievances and allegations. On the other side, Attorney General Pam Bondi, refusing to be intimidated, pushing back with force against what she called lies, distortions, and political theater. Schiff tried again, raising allegations that Trump immigration official Tom Homan accepted $50,000 in cash from undercover agents. He demanded answers, demanded accountability, demanded confirmation. But Bondi didn't budge. She repeated firmly that the case occurred before she took office, that investigators found no evidence of a crime, and that Schiff was simply using the hearing to smear people who had served the country honorably. Let's dive in.
Senator Tillis. Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Attorney General Bondi, at your confirmation hearing in January, made a clear commitment you would not politicize your position. We are here today at your first oversight hearing 9 months into your tenure, at a time when hundreds of career prosecutors have quit because they were required to take unethical actions at odds with that promise, or feared that they would have to take such actions if they remained on the job. When over 1,000 former federal prosecutors have sounded the alarm about the unprecedented degree to which the powers of DOJ are being abused to go after the president's enemies. I approach this hearing with a heavy heart. As a former federal prosecutor myself, I served in a department that, whether it was under a Democratic or Republican president, would never use the office to go after the president's enemies or to hide the corruption of his friends. But today, the Justice Department has been used to cover up the possible corruption of the mayor of New York or of a high-level administration official taking $50,000 reportedly in cash in a bag, or a child sex predator who befriended the president and some of his cabinet members. And instead of preventing partisan weaponization, your department has engaged in a brazenly political prosecution at the president's explicit direction. The department has become President Trump's personal sword and shield to go after his ever-growing list of political enemies and to protect himself, his allies, and associates. My questions therefore focus on these two themes: hiding the corrupt acts of his friends and prioritizing the political prosecution of his enemies. So let me start with the shocking allegations of bribery and pay to play. 2 weeks ago, 4 major media outlets reported that Tom Homan, the president's top deportation official working in the White House, took $50,000 in cash in a bag from undercover FBI agents in September 2024, just over a year ago. According to these reports, Homan indicated he would facilitate securing contracts in exchange for money once he was in office in a future Trump administration. Reportedly, this exchange was caught on tape. Rather than pursue this investigation without fear or favor, the department and the FBI under your leadership or that of your predecessor before you confirmed quietly shut it down. Once news broke, your deputy and FBI director issued a joint public statement confirming that the Trump administration closed the investigation. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt denied Homan took the $50,000, telling a reporter, quote, "Mr. Homan never took the $50,000 that you're referring to, so you should get your facts straight." So today I hope you can help us get our facts straight. Was that true, what the White House Press Secretary said when she denied Homan took the money? Did he take the money?
Senator Schiff, as I stated earlier, I was not in office. I was not confirmed when that was handled.
So does that mean...
Deputy Attorney General Blanche and Director Patel said that there was no evidence that Tom Homan committed a crime. Yet now you're putting his picture up to slander him.
No, I'm putting his picture up
You know,
showing an interview he gave with, I think, Fox, in which he was asked explicitly about these allegations that he took a $50,000 bribe, and he refused to answer. He said he didn't answer the question whether he took the money, so I'm asking you the question. Did he take the money?
Senator Schiff, I answered that question multiple times. And frankly, you know...
Well, I don't think, with respect, I don't think you did. But in case I just didn't hear you, what is the answer? Did he take the money?
Senator Schiff, that happened prior to my confirmation as Attorney General.
Do you know,
I said that.
Do you know, sitting here, whether
All
he took the money?
I know is that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and FBI Director Patel said there was no case. And Caroline Leavitt is one of the most trustworthy human beings I know.
So
and,
was she?
Senator Schiff, if
right?
you worked for me, you would have been fired because you were censured by Congress for lying with your egregious...
We can stipulate to, you can stipulate to all your personal attacks on the Democratic members of the committee.
Personal attacks? You've been attacking my FBI director. You've been attacking my office. You've been attacking...
But what we're interested in...
borders are.
What we're interested in is the answer to these oversight questions.
You want your
you were asked by my colleague. You were asked by my colleague.
Attacking good people.
Regular order, Madam Chair, so I can ask a question. You were asked by my colleague from Vermont whether you will support providing a video or audio tape, if it exists, of Mr. Homan taking $50,000 in bribe money from the FBI. Will you support a request by this committee to provide that tape or tapes to the committee? Yes or no?
Senator Schiff, you can talk to Director Patel about that.
Well, I'm talking to you about it. You're the Attorney General. This will be your decision. Will you support?
You don't have to tell me what is my decision and what is not my decision. I said you can talk to Director Patel.
You don't have to try to.
You think you've got a gotcha with Tom Homan, our borders are.
Excuse me.
Who's been out there fighting for our country since Donald Trump took office.
I'm trying to ask you a question. Regular order, please. And you don't have to defer to the FBI director to pass the buck. So I'm asking you, will you support a request so that the committee, or indeed I believe the American people, should be able to see that video or audio tape? Will you support that request?
Will you apologize to Donald Trump for trying to impeach him?
I guess the answer is you won't support that request.
After you now know that Joe Biden tried to cover up Hunter Biden's involvement with Ukraine.
Excuse me. Let me do this because...
In the end, the entire hearing revealed something far bigger than a political back and forth. It exposed the unmistakable contrast between someone who stood firmly on principle and someone who relied on theatrics to drive a narrative. Pam Bondi walked into that room prepared, composed, and grounded in facts. She did not allow herself to be bullied, she did not allow her office to be smeared, and she did not allow Adam Schiff to twist the truth for political gain. While Schiff attempted to frame the Justice Department as a tool of corruption, Bondi countered with clarity and conviction. She refused to let him drag career law enforcement officers through the mud simply to score headlines. She refused to accept accusations that were unsupported, inconsistent, or deliberately misleading. She refused to be intimidated by personal attacks, insults, or orchestrated outrage. Instead, she stood on the strength of her record, the integrity of her office, and the responsibility she carries as Attorney General. Throughout the hearing, Schiff tried to redirect, mischaracterize, and overwhelm the room with accusations that were either unrelated or entirely speculative. Yet Bondi dismantled those tactics with calm confidence. She reminded everyone that facts matter, that timelines matter, that truth matters, and that the Justice Department cannot be reshaped into a political weapon simply because one senator wishes to settle old scores. She exposed Schiff's strategy clearly, a strategy built on noise without evidence, outrage without substance, and allegations without accountability. At every turn, she showed what real leadership looks like. Leadership means refusing to allow your office to be hijacked for political vendettas. Leadership means defending the people who serve under you when they are unfairly attacked. Leadership means keeping your word, honoring your commitments, and standing firm even when you are outnumbered in the room. Bondi did not waver, she did not stumble, she did not retreat, she remained consistent, measured, factual, and unshaken. By the end of the hearing, it became clear that Schiff did not expose wrongdoing. He exposed his frustration, he exposed his bias, he exposed his willingness to distort the record for political advantage. In contrast, Pam Bondi exposed something else entirely: the difference between those who protect the integrity of the Justice Department and those who attempt to weaponize it for partisan narratives. Bondi's refusal to bend to political pressure, or to elevate speculation over truth, sent a message far louder than any accusation thrown at her.